Hey, what's happening, everyone? Boylon here, and today is a very special day. Well, sort of special day, anyways. Today is my 780th day of Marvel Strike Force, or roughly 26 months. I started this game back in May 2018, and I also actually just hit the 7 million collection power milestone. And on this occasion, I wanted to do a bit of a roster tour, which I don't think I've done yet on my channel, and show a bit of what I'm doing right now, and what I've done in the past that I sort of regret doing. And we'll also go over my arena team and show off the current teams that I'm using for Blitz, and also head over onto Alliance War Defense and show off the teams that I'm using there. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, just taking a quick look into my roster right now, these are the sort of characters that I'm farming with energy. So at the top we have Hela, Colossus, Ghost Rider. These three I am farming for energy, as well as Elsa Bloodstone and Karnak. I still need Karnak for Ebony Maw, and Hela as well for Black Bolt. So that's for my 7-star Black Bolt here. Colossus, still farming him because, you know, he's Colossus and he's great. Ghost Rider, he recently became farmable, and the Supernatural team, I think, is pretty cool. If any of you watched my Supernatural team review video not too long ago, I've been trying to gear up Ghost Rider a little bit more. I also want to take him into Dark Dimension 3 City when I can as well, and I think he'll be pretty useful there. Elsa Bloodstone as well just got farmable, and for the same reason. I want to take her up a little bit further than she is right now, and hopefully with the star ranks that'll improve as well. The other characters that are favorited are X-Force, mostly Cable, Deadpool, Domino, Negasonic, and X-23, just because I'm not sure what I want to do with them quite yet. I think I recently pulled a 6 red star Cable in my X-23 video, if you guys saw it. And Deadpool I need to raise up a little bit more. He's got like a measly 3 red star here. I think for him to work a bit better on some of the Alliance War teams, you know, like against Mercs, I think he needs to be the hardest, the strongest one. So he gets targeted by people like Coulson and Taskmaster because he's the strongest character. Now, unfortunately, I think that's given to my Cable now, so that's why I need to work up Deadpool a bit more. Maybe get him a 4th red star. I'm not too sure how much I want to invest into X-Force at this point. I do have a strange feeling, though, that X-Force is going to be, might be the next legendary character unlock. And a lot of people have been saying this, and it does make a lot of sense. At least if it is. I got Deadpool and Cable maxed, Domino's at 5-star, Negasonics not too close behind 5-star, well, sort of. And X-23 hasn't had her Blitz yet, so I might be able to score a little bit there. I'll probably try to get top 2,000, although, you know, not just because I want mostly if it is for a legendary character, I want to make sure I'm on top of it. Not too sure how much I'll be using X-Force overall, though, so we'll have to wait and see. Otherwise, I'm actually leveling Strife a bit on the side. I know he's not really the best character, but with Marauders possibly getting a 5th member next month, I wanted to build Strife up a little bit more. He's kind of close to 7-star here, and once the new event goes live, the Orb Milestones for the Fun in the Sun, I'll be pulling all my Blitz Orbs to try and get Strife and Toad out of there, now that Toad's farmable as well. Other than that, scrolling down, so now we're into sort of our top players here. So my Thanos, if any of you guys have seen any of my Black Order videos, my Thanos is my pride and joy. He is my character that I spent the most resources on lately. He's tier 14, completely maxed out, 7 red star, 7 yellow star, 7775, level 75, and I use him all the time in my Black Order team. He's really amazing. Black Order's amazing. Currently the top dogs in Arena, and after they changed actually his passive on his empowered form with ultimate power, it actually applies properly the regeneration with the Black Order team as well, so that's really good, and I think that's what sort of improved them a little bit on the defense in Arena, now that they're healing up a little bit more. Next up is Black Bolt. I spent a lot of resources on him, tier 14 as well. I kind of used him a lot. The reason why he's tier 14 as well is because I used him a lot in Arena prior to Black Order. I also bought the 6th red star with the 100, the free gold promotion credits that we had way back in the day that would allow for 2 6th red star upgrades. One of these went to Black Bolt. which I don't really regret. I don't use him as much anymore because I use my Black Order a lot now, but he's still a really great, solid character, and definitely recommend it. Maxed him out to 775. I just don't have that 7th star yet, so hopefully I'll get that next time his event comes around. Ebony Maw, also something similar. I use him all the time with my Black Order team, and he's getting some pretty good use in my Dark Dimension 3 Cosmic lane, if anyone's been following my videos there for that. I did pull a 5 red star, so that's quite lucky there. Got into 6 star. I grinded the heck out of Karnak to try and get that as much as I can. He's 775 at the moment. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do this. Maybe at a later time I'll do his basic. And some of these characters I kind of regret doing. Invisible Woman, I use her, well, I'm using her in Cosmic, in Dark Dimension 3 Cosmic. Not sure if it was the best move, but I have used her a lot elsewhere in the past. I used her in Arena prior to Black Order. I used her in Alliance War, Blitz. Not so much in raids, but maybe, you know, fingers crossed that they might release Dr. Doom or Silver Surfer, and maybe that might bring Fantastic Four back in some way for these game modes. 6775, 4 red stars. Same with Phoenix. Again, used to use her a lot in Arena, don't really do so anymore, and other than I did use her in Dark Dimension 3 in the first 8 nodes, and she really is required. Like, everyone needs to get Phoenix. No matter how you feel about Phoenix, you definitely need her for Dark Dimension 3 if you want any meaningful progress in that game mode, in the first half of the game mode. Don't really use her too much elsewhere other than Alliance War offense. Again, Black Order sort of taken over for me for Arena and a lot of these PvP game modes. Vision, this is something I wish I could pull back. I did upgrade him from 5 red stars to 6 red stars, so I spent my gold promotion credits on that. I kind of regret it. Again, I did this at a time when I was using a combo in Arena prior to Black Order. This is like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and I was using Vision's ability block here combined with Hela's Death Knives to spread the ability block. This was a common tactic in Arena offense, which I was using for some time. Don't do that anymore now with Black Order and such like that. So I did use him a lot also as well in raids. He was quite handy to have in Ultima 7 at the time, you know, combined with other tech characters like Minerva, Scientist Supreme, Ultron, things like that, with the defense up on spawn. Very helpful. So yeah, I mean, he got a lot of use out of me when I was using him. I just don't use him as much anymore. He's kind of relegated to, I think, BKT on a war defense that I'm using on right now. And we have Symbiote Spider-Man and Mr. Sinister. I don't think this needs any explanation. Both very amazing characters. Sinister isn't used as much anymore that I'm seeing in my Arena shard anyways, but he was everywhere. Maybe still is for some people in Arena. Very awesome character to use. You can clone someone with him. His clones are amazing. And I have him at 5 red star, 5 yellow star. I did buy that, or actually, sorry, I pulled that 5 red star, so I didn't actually buy any here. He is now available in the War Store as well, so you can get him some shards there if you need to farm him. Symbiote Spider-Man hasn't really came back yet, but he is key to Dark Dimension 3, the city lane, which is what I'm going to be getting to soon. I'm 1 node away from there from starting, and I just finished him recently. I am going to be putting oranges into his ultimate pretty soon. I'm just kind of waiting for my gold, my milestones and things like that. I'm trying to save up as much gold for, supposedly he's supposed to come back for another round. Don't know if that's going to happen, but the jury's still out for there. The rest, Magneto, I pulled a 6 red star on him, so I want to get him up a bit further, at least to tier 12. I haven't done so yet because of X-Force taking up a lot of my mutant gear. Scientist Supreme, which I used heavily in Ultima 7. Not so much anymore. I'm actually using Black Order, which is actually getting me pretty far. Not using Scientist Supreme so much at the moment, but she's definitely a character that's really worth taking up. Tier 14 is a bit debatable. I know a lot of people prefer Shuri, but I think either Scientist Supreme or Shuri is quite useful. Shuri might stand out as a little bit more useful. Punisher was a character that I upgraded to tier 14 just to get into Dark Dimension 3. He's skill, So there isn't a lot of skill characters, and it helped me just squeeze in there rather than having to upgrade like a Shield Trooper or something like that. So decided to do Punisher. Maybe I'll get a little bit of use out of him in the city lane coming up soon. Jessica Jones and Rocket. These are... Jessica Jones is a character I used in Dark Dimension 2 way back in the day, so I haven't really touched her in a long time. I upgraded her Shake It Off and Jawbreaker. This was for additional ability energy when I was running her alongside Minerva for Dark Dimension 2. Haven't really done much with her lately. Rocket was someone I used way back in the day in Arena, like well before sort of all of these other new characters came out, and BKT was sort of a thing. Kind of regret it a little bit. I don't think I upgrade. I think I pulled these red stars. Kind of wish I could pull back the orange gear to get him tier 13 though, because tier 13, I'm running out a lot of orange gear now. I didn't really think about this too much before, but yeah, I maybe upgraded a few characters that I shouldn't have taken to 13 that I didn't use. Loki is a bit of another example for that, but I got some good red stars on him. I use him mostly for Alliance War defense. And then Carnage we're leveling up now, and he's quite good. He's going to be used in Dark Dimension 3 City. And these are just other characters. Again, Spider-Man here. I wish I could pull back the oranges here. I think he was one of my first 5 Red Star characters way back when Red Stars was first released. And that's why he is where he is there. Wish I could pull back the oranges, though. Quake was another huge Red Star pull. She's at tier 12, though, leaving her there. Proxima Midnight. If I had more oranges, once I complete Dark Dimension 3 for the first time, is going to be going into Proxima. Groot, someone that I used in Dark Dimension 2. Ultron, kind of wish I could pull back tier 14 on that. He was okay in the first 8 nodes, but I didn't get that much use out of him. Kind of slow, so he kind of got killed half the time. But he was good, actually, to help Phoenix get to her Dark Phoenix to her skills because he revives every time, and so he was kind of a bit of a punching bag, actually. Minerva, if you saw my video on Minerva, super key to Dark Dimension 2 still, so if you haven't completed Dark Dimension 2, then get Minerva up for that. Cull Obsidian, Corvus Glaive, these are other characters from the Black Order who is stuck at tier 12. Wish that I could take them further, but I don't have the orange gear for that. Shield Security, someone I tier 13 for Dark Dimension 2. I ran a combo of like Minerva, Shield Security, Nick Fury, Jessica Jones, and like Groot, I believe, at the time, and that's what I ran as my main team for Dark Dimension 2 when I first went through it. Juggernaut, forgot why I tier 13'd him. I think because I was using Brotherhood, I guess, and Coulson because he was sort of the war defense king at the time. Again, a lot of characters that I pumped tier 13 into, I sort of wish I could just pull back, because if I did, then maybe I could take some of the other characters up a bit quicker that I have many uniques for, but I just don't have the other orange gear for. Falcon, another great member of what was the old Tech Wing team here. And Star-Lord, again, had a lot of use in Dark Dimension 2. That's why he is tier 13 here. I think I used him on my second run, although he's actually really recommended for the first run. A bunch of AIM here, Psylocke, nothing I really totally regret taking up here. Nick Fury, used that for Dark Dimension 2. Sif, I think I was just, when Asgardians came out, they were really, really, really good. And I wanted to gear them up as high as possible, and that's definitely why I think I have tier 13 on all of them except for Heimdall. Captain Marvel, really, probably could use some more love. I didn't get really good Red Star pulls on her, and that's the reason why she is where she is. I haven't taken her up higher because if I had a 4 or 5 Red Star, you know, I would have taken her up a little bit more. She's definitely a character, a really strong character, standalone great character, deserving of gear, but for one reason or another, she's still here for me. Rest of the characters, you know, I've had some pretty decent luck on. Graviton, I have a 6 Red Star that I haven't upgraded yet. Will do soon. I think AIM is actually one of my favorite teams. The AIM rework is quite possibly, I think, the best rework that there has ever been on Marvel Strike Force. Cyclops, nothing really. Black Widow here. This was from way back in the day. Yondu, Crossbones, both from way back in the day. If anyone's watching this that's been played from like 2 years ago, you'll remember that Yondu, Crossbones, Black Widow, they were all super OP characters. They were the main... That was the meta. That was the arena meta back in the day. But since then, it's changed. Shuri, I really didn't get very lucky on the Red Star pulls here. Haven't taken her up too much further, I think for that reason. But I know she's definitely a recommended character for Dark Dimension 3 Global Lane. So I think after my first run, I'll probably get her up to 14 as well. And the rest is pretty standard. This is just I normally take characters to about tier 10, 6, 6, 6, 4. That's normally where I take most of my characters. And if they're super OP, then I'll take them up further than that. Nothing really out of the ordinary. A lot of these characters that you'll see, you might ask, why do I have them leveled up? Gamora, why do I have them leveled up? This is like a legacy reason. You know, I've been playing for a very long time, and characters were a lot better back then than they are now, and they were a lot stronger. There was less other characters to compete with, and they actually had a place back then. But since then, I've not really touched a large deal of these characters. My defenders, I've never really... I didn't really touch them after they kind of fell off a bit, sort of post rework, maybe a couple months after the rework. Other teams were coming out, and I just didn't really invest too heavily into them. So so a lot of them are still at tier 10, other than Jessica Jones, who had a place in Dark Dimension 2. Some characters that I wish I could pull back on was probably Shield Trooper. Pull back a little bit of purple gear here. I wish I could take Yo-Yo up a bit further. I don't use her as much anymore, though. She definitely has a place, though, in Ultimate 7, and she's great. A lot of people recommend using her in Ultimate 7. I'm just not using her right now in my Ultimate 7 team. Night Nurse. This is definitely a character that either needs to get reworked, or I wish I could pull back some of this gear. She was really great back in the day when Ultimate 6 was a thing, and this was like pre-Minerva. Like, she was the healer that you needed to have for raids, and if you didn't have Night Nurse upgraded, it was very difficult to get through a lot of raids in Ultimate 6. Things have changed, though, and that's just not how things are anymore. The rest of my characters were sort of getting a bit further down the list now. A lot of this is just because, you know, I've been playing for so long, and I can gear up characters a bit more evenly. But I definitely, since this is a resource management game, I definitely recommend not bumping gear and resources into characters you're not going to use. And a lot of these, to be frank, I probably don't use much anymore. But I did at one point or another, for one reason or another back in the day. You know, Kree minions for unlocking Nick Fury and stuff like that. There are some characters I want to pump up a little bit more, but they're not farmable. Blob is definitely on that list. Once it becomes farmable, I'll probably raise them up further. Red Skull, whenever he decides to get farmable again. I have some red stars here that need activating, so hopefully I can get some shards on that sometime soon. Sinister Six, haven't really put too much work into them. I'm hoping that Doc Ock might actually be the legendary that's kind of rumored for next, and that might actually make them a bit better. My Mysterio, he's just sitting around. He's still in the blue, actually. Tier 8. I haven't taken him to tier 9 yet. Winter Soldier, kind of wish you get a rework sometime. I haven't been spending a lot of resources on Crystal or Karnak. I kind of have low red stars for them, but two, like for what I use them for, which is mostly to kill Red Skull in Alliance War, I don't really need Crystal or Karnak to win. So I haven't really had any major reason to level them at this point. Toad, he's farmable now in the Blitz store, so he's getting the same treatment with Blob. I really love Brotherhood 2.0, and so for that reason, I think I'll be putting some more invest in more gear into Toad, Blob, and then finishing off Magneto, who I have a 6 red star for. And now we're starting to get to the bottom of the barrel here. Kingpin, a lot of characters that I still need to rank up. Ultimus, I took him to tier 9, haven't really done too much with him yet. Maybe when I get the 5 red stars from Dark Dimension, that maybe I'll upgrade him a little bit further. A lot of characters I just don't want to waste the gold on to upgrade them, even though I'm at 7 star with them already. And I think the bottom of the roster is the same for everyone. Ravager Stitcher, Merc Sniper, Merc Soldier, Nebula, Hand Sorceress. Some people have her a bit leveled up for the Hand event. I don't. Hand Blade Master, same reason, don't need it. Aim Researcher, never decided to use her, didn't really get that much red stars compared to the other. Ravager Bruiser is garbage. Ravager Boomer is garbage. However, these are two characters that way back in the day I did use to unlock Star-Lord. Both Ravager Bruiser and Boomer, that's why they're 7 star. Or, well, that's why Boomer is 7 star, and Bruiser, I think I used at the 5 star level to unlock Star-Lord. That's because back in the day you couldn't farm Groot or Rocket or Mantis or anyone like that, so it was a lot harder actually to unlock him then. Mantis is still sitting in here. I haven't really bothered with her, and so that's pretty much everything. Let me know if I missed out on anything, or if there's something in my roster that you guys want to see a little bit in more detail. Yeah, the things at the top is sort of what I'm currently working at the moment. Mostly gearing up X-Force a little bit more and Supernatural. So that's sort of what I'm looking at the moment. And then once I clear Dark Dimension 3, I'm going to go back and put some more gear into Proxima, Cull, and Corvus, because I want to raise my Black Order even further. Let's jump into my arena really quick here, and we'll just show off who I'm using. So this is the Black Order, no surprise here. I'm basically top 5 every day. My defense, which includes the Black Order, my massive Thanos, Ebony Maw. This is the pretty standard layout for Black Order. Corvus Glaive in the center. So 421k here. And that's my defense, and I actually just use it right for the offense as well. So other teams that we're fighting, typically 400 to 450k Black Order teams. Although if you go back in the ranking, I can't really see it because I'm number 2. But most of these people have Black Order. So I think Black Order is pretty common in the top 10 at least. At least in my shard, anyways, it's about, I would say 400k is average. Although I've seen some with a bit less. Luckily, I'm not in those veteran shards from people who started from day 1, so I'm doing quite well against other people here, so that's good. Let's jump into my Blitz teams really quick here. It's probably not going to be anything too special. Things that you guys have seen before, I'm sure. I have all the teams together. My top team, so right here, we're going from highest to lowest. Black Order is my top team, sure to win. I can auto this all day long and never lose. BKT here, so we stuck Vision back in here because Ironheart went to Power Armor and I could take Vision out of there. Asgardians, my 3rd highest, actually tied with X-Men here as my 3rd highest. And X-Men and Asgardians are my top teams, and oh, actually, it seems like my symbiotes are actually higher. So I recently got Symbiote Spider-Man really high up here, and Carnage as well. So symbiotes are doing quite well. AIM, another team I really love using. AIM is a lot of fun. I might actually put a bit more into Graviton once I can. Need to activate that Res Star there. Defenders, kind of fallen off the wagon. I'm actually having a bit of trouble winning sometimes with Defenders. I really need to fight random teams. I can't fight any of the newer Synergy teams that punch up. Kind of have to find like a, I don't know, like a villain ragtag team or some combination of characters that really suck. Fantastic Four here, about 300k. Not much to say about that. Invisible Woman being the top. My Inhumans team here, again, Black Bolt carries that fight. We got my Brotherhood 2.0 here. Need to get some more work on Toad and Blob. Once Blob becomes farmable, and get some stars on Toad. This team here, I don't know what you call this. This is sort of like a mixed Avengers Shield team. Captain Marvel gets a bit of a bonus with Captain America here. So that helps get an extra charge for the binary mode. We have Shield here, so this is just regular Shield without Coulson. Mostly because I didn't feel that you necessarily needed Coulson to win a Blitz match, so I utilized them a bit better here. And then we have Marauders with Korath. Used to be with Cable, but now that X-Force is a team, he is left over. Power Armor 2.0. I call this the Hero Brawler Shuri team. And that's because I think they really lack some support. And I'm hoping with the possibility of Squirrel Girl coming out next patch, that might actually help the Hero Brawler team out a bit more. Because I don't really have a full Wakandan team, so Shuri's going here, gives the defense up, and really helps them actually win a bit better. We have the Supernatural team, which I've been talking about a bit lately, and if you've seen my Supernatural video, I'm really wanting to raise them up a little bit more. Ultron team, or what I call Ultron and everyone else. Ultron doesn't really need anyone to win, so I just kind of threw these characters together because they didn't have a place. Red Skull here with Hydra. I don't know what this is. This is some sort of like villain team here with Kingpin. We got your Kree minions, we got your Sinister Six, and X-Force, which I should bump up here. They're a bit higher levels. So that's 200 and, oh, actually this is X-Force with Storm. I need to put X-23 in here, I'll fix that later. And then we have our Mercs team with Taskmaster, and then we have, these are just the dregs. These are the leftovers that I just used to sort of do auto wins or force loses. Nothing really special here, so these are just sort of tearing up with or purposefully losing. These are just the extra characters behind. And so that's my Blitz teams there. Let's head over onto Alliance War and we'll check that out. And so we're back here in Alliance War and on the War Defense side, and I'm currently placed in the bridge here. Let me know if you guys think my my layout is terrible or not. I haven't changed it in a little while. I think maybe I need to. If I've been maybe fighting the same alliance twice in a row, they might actually know where our runes are. Or if anyone's watching this right now and plays against us, then I've just given myself a disadvantage for my alliance. But here's our team, the teams that I have. So defenders, I need to get rid of this because I kind of want to take them off and put them on offense for aim teams and things like that. But I don't really have a replacement at the moment. So, and then we have the Red Skull team, that's pretty normal. The new Merc team, I need to raise them up a little bit more as well. They're quite strong still. BKT, 433k. This is with war buffs, of course, with Vision here now in that spot. Marauders, Marauders Ultron, or Maltron as they put it sometimes. This actually performs quite well still. We'll have to see what happens next patch if there is indeed going to be a 5th Marauders coming out. A lot of people are rumored Emma Frost as a Marauders, which is kind of weird, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Coulson Shield, this is a pretty standard war defense team as well as Guardians. And I have my Black Order. Now this is a bit controversial sometimes. People say that they're better on the offense, but because my team is so powerful, I actually have picked up like 3, 4, 5+ wins before with the team because they're so balanced for the most part. That it's still pretty strong. Like they need to get through one of the members, and normally Thanos just rips through a lot of them. So I'll probably leave him here for now. I feel like it gets a bit more benefit on the defense, at least where I'm at, than on the offense. So teams that I do want to get rid of probably is the defenders for something better here. And I think that's really it for the moment. I think the rest of them are pretty solid. I just need to work on getting their stats up a little bit more, especially the Mercs here. Not too sure how much I'm going to deal with Hydra, because I know that they're a bit easier to kill now with Black Bolt. But the Mercs are still quite challenging, so it might be worth bumping it. Killmonger, I think, and then maybe everyone here. I'm not too sure how much I want to invest into Bullseye though. Otherwise, I think that's looking pretty good. And that's it for me for my very first roster tour. I might do this a monthly thing or something just to see what kind of progress I have been making or what I'm currently doing and how that changes. Also, this gives people a look at my roster if they're curious, for those who have been following my channel and my progress. Let me know though if there's something that you'd like to see in more detail that I didn't quite go into in this video. I hope everyone enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that like button, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, then be awesome and click that button for me. Feel free to leave a comment down below as well if you saw something out of place in my roster or you think I should look into doing. Otherwise, that's all for me for today. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day, and I'll see y'all next time. And until then, stay safe everyone. Boylon signing out.